Well, Mark Allewell's on the line now, and he's the CEO of Tourism Radio, and there's quite a lot of development going on in tourism radio. Mark, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing very well. You must be run off your feet with all the stuff that's happening.
Yeah, we're pretty busy, and we've got sort of a month left of work, so we're just trying to squash in as much as possible so that 2012 has been really successful.
Well, so let's just, first of all, before we get into, let's actually start with the accolade. I mean, you were featured on CNN.
We were incredibly lucky. They actually contacted us, and they saw some of the stuff that we were doing and thought that it's quite uniquely African, and did a 5-minute show on us. So it's really, really great.
Has this had much impact on tourism radio?
I think it's quite long tail. I think initially we got a lot of interest, and we've certainly had a lot of interest from some really top people. I'm actually flying to Dubai on the 14th of December to meet with the Dubai government. So, it really does great things for your business, especially CNN. It's quite high profile, so people really respect that, which is great.
Now, we have mentioned it before, and when you've been on the show before, that it's not just tourism radio in Cape Town. You're working on tourism radio in other countries as well.
We are. We currently have an office in Spain and one down in New Zealand, and next year we'll be hopefully launching Dubai and definitely launching Australia. So we're sort of expanding that in car products.
Nice to see a South African product sort of going international.
Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work over a number of years, so we're just building slowly but surely. But most of the people that work for us are South African, so it's really great, and we've got some really clever people down here.
Well, let's bring it back home again, and you've launched a relatively new concept with Tourism Radio. You've launched the walking tour of Central Cape Town in conjunction with Cape Town Tourism.
We have. This year we've rolled out quite a lot of mobile applications, and particularly with sort of DMOs like Cape Town Tourism, and we're launching quite a few next year as well. So I think they can see the value of our product and the value of sort of talking directly to the tourist into their ears from an application when they're walking around. So we're pretty excited about it, and the actual downloads have been pretty high compared to our other applications. So I think there's a lot of interest in it.
So tell us what's on there and how this all works.
It's pretty simple. I mean, it's at the moment it's just on iPhone. They download it onto their phone, and everything's offline. So as soon as they get to Cape Town, they can just start the application, and if you're in an area with information, it'll automatically start playing that information. So if you're walking in the City Bowl and we're talking about Groete Kerk, if you're walking past, it's going to start talking to you. And then obviously you have your sort of text information as well, all the contact details, opening, closing times. So it's a pretty unique product, and works really well. And as I say, the feedback has been really great. And obviously, Cape Town being the jewel in Africa, it's nice to be associated with them, and working with their team has been really, really great as well.
Are you looking at rolling this out anywhere else in the country?
Yes. Gauteng Tourism is probably going to launch late December, early January. Northern Cape will be launching early January as well. So, we're working with all the DMOs at the moment, and we've got one or two really big launches next year, which I can't say anything at the moment, but I think it'll be really great for us.
And you can download this from the Apple Store, you said, I think, for the grand sum of 99 US cents, which is nothing really.
Yeah, it's absolutely nothing for the amount of audio that you're getting, an hour of audio, as you're walking around. So price-wise, it's very cheap. And as I say, it's a really good product and relatively unique.
This is the way of the future. I mean, everything is going mobile now, if you like. I mean, I sort of almost dread to say this, we're about to see the demise of travel guide books.
I think what you're seeing is a lot of the bigger companies are moving into the digital space, and a lot of the older, sort of more established companies are dying along the way. If you look at, one of our partners, Frommer's, was recently sold to Google, and obviously they're going to digitize all of their content. It's not just digitizing it, it's making it into a user experience that people really enjoy on the mobile as well. I think originally what guys like Lonely Planet did, they just copied and pasted their content into a mobile app, and they thought that would be great. But you have to be sort of unique. And the nice thing about what we're doing, especially with Cape Town Tourism, is we're getting locals to record for the audio. So that person, as they're walking around, they're getting quite a nice experience, and they're getting to know the city sort of read to or spoken to by locals. But I wouldn't say that guidebooks are dead. I would say that certainly it is moving more to a digital space.
Now, you said it was only at this point available on iPhone. Are you looking to moving it into a bigger market?
Yeah, we actually do Androids, which the Cape Town Tourism one will launch early next year. So our Android normally plays catch up to our iPhone, because iPhone people are more willing to pay pay for stuff. Android users are a bit more on the cheaper side, I'd say.
Okay.
Probably get into trouble for that.
Well, I'm one of those, so yes. But I just still think that the price, well, do you think it will stay the same, about 99 US cents?
Yeah, 99 cents. I mean, nothing will change there. Obviously, Cape Town Tourism want to give really good value for a minimal amount. So I think once you've paid your 99 cents, you've got some buy-in with that product. And for 99 cents, the amount of information you're getting is just incredible.
And updating information, Mark, how often will you do that?
Yeah, so we'll just ping the Cape Town Tourism website and update the content as it goes. So that sort of updating product will be available Q1 next year as well. So basically, every time you open the application, we'll just send you a message saying we've got some more cool content. Why don't you download it?
Oh, that's great. Okay, but then talking about mobile applications, you also have Humber. Tell me about Humber.
Yeah, so in short, Humber's a sort of social network for travelers. I know everyone's got a social network these days, but we're really building a nice community of travelers, and it's a mobile app, and within that app are the guides, so you can download the Cape Town guide or the Paris guide. And then you can share your postcards with your friends as you're on the move, and you can manipulate them. It's sort of Instagram meets Lonely Planet. So we've added a lot of the sort of social features into it, but then also enabling that tourist as they're traveling around to get the cool guide stuff as well. So it's sort of a big product for travelers. We call it a backpack in their pocket, and we're just adding features into that add to that backpack, whether it's planning your trip, or we've got a bunch of new features launching early next year as well.
So from just being tourism radio, you almost now seem to have become a one-stop shop for people traveling here.
Yeah, our product has evolved, I'd say, over the last 7 years. We've had to, but interestingly enough, tourism radio, which is the big piece of plastic that fits into the windscreen of your hired car, is still our main product. And it certainly doesn't want to die. It just keeps going. We can launch all these fancy mobile guides, but a lot of tourists just want something in their car that speaks to them as they travel around. We've got about 3,500 of them that travel in our markets every single day, and it really is the biggest part of our business. And after that CNN interview, nobody really wanted to know about the mobile apps. Everyone wanted to know about how they could get tourism radio into their cars. So although everything is going mobile, there's still a big groundswell of people that actually want to be talked to while they're in their vehicle.
Do you think that you've started all of this in 2005? I mean, it's 7 years. You've come an awfully long way in just 7 years.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of grey hairs to show for it. I think we were really at the forefront in 2005, which is one of the reasons why Discovery did a show on us in 2006 as a sort of new invention. So a lot of the sort of tech that's coming out at the moment is really what we did a couple of years ago. So we've sort of been on the cutting edge for quite a while now, and that's really nice, even with such a small team. But we've got some really great stuff launching next year. We'll be launching with Renault on Tuesday next week at Le Web in Paris. And basically you'll be able to download tourism radio into Renault cars as they travel around. So you can buy a Renault car, and especially in Europe, they do a lot of cross-border traveling. You can buy a Renault in Spain and go to Paris and listen to our content. So we're looking at sort of the technology, the base of technology over sort of multiple distribution channels, whether it's in your car, whether it's in your hand. We want to play information to that tourist, whatever sort of form of transport they're on.
Well, congratulations to you on what you've achieved in a relatively short space of 7 years. And we look forward to many, many more applications and all sorts of interesting things coming out of tourism radio. Mark, thank you very much indeed for joining me on the show this evening.
Well, thanks for your time.
I was speaking there with Mark Allewell. He's the CEO of Tourism Radio. And if you'd like to find out more about that new walking tour of Central Cape Town, you can go onto the Apple iStore and you can download the walking tour of Central Cape Town, as we said, for the grand sum of 99 US cents. If you'd like to find out more about tourism radio in general, their website is www.tourismradio.info. And we mentioned earlier about Tourism Radio's mobile phone application called Humber, and that is www.humber.com. And Humber is spelled Humba, so HUMMBA.com. Well, Mark Allewell's on the line now, and he's the CEO of Tourism Radio, and there's quite a lot of development going on in tourism radio.